more time and you need overtime pay. So naging trend ni mo na nga or naging practice na nimo. That is to the detriment and that is prejudicial to the organization. So commitment says you have to perform your task, your job, even beyond the working hours, even without being paid or receiving the so-called overtime pay. Although the law says you are entitled. But to establish your character, a good character of a good employee, you may refuse. No, you may refuse. But the law says you're entitled. Right. Another important character is be honest. Even if others are not, cannot, will not, and even if your employees are not, your supervisors are not, your managers are not. Honesty will always constitute as the best policy.
Sir, wala po
Eh,
ibingog, sir.
why tingog? How about that one?
Sir.
Ano?
Sir.
Naman, sir. Na.
Kamo.
Sir.
Sa pikas,
Wala
ha?
tingog, sir.
Wait, tingog?
Hello, sir.
Ito, wala tingog. O, dito tingog. Wala tingog.
Wala ko
Ano muna?
tingog sa other batch.
Ang vote.
Hi, sir, boy.
Ay, kapo, ang sorry. Sabadi ay. Wa man din ako na kuan. Pasayloan, tiguang. Kay basta
Sir,
tiguang singan ni. Kana okay na ko.
Roswell.
Okay. Pasayloan tiguang ha.
Sige, sir. Sige.
Matiguang di asad mo hon. Alright. So, let's talk again about character. Very important that you must possess the character of a good, dependable employee. You must display the high level of effort and display the high level of commitment. Because if you do possess this commitment, high level of commitment, and you are high level of effort is being displayed also, there is a chance to be promoted. Sooner or later, you become an employee of the particular organization or company where you will be deployed. They are also looking at your performance during the time that you are on the job training. Nobody knows you will be absorbed in that particular organization. Nobody knows you will be absorbed in the particular company. So just perform what is expected of you. Be committed and display high level of effort. Be honest, even if others are not, cannot, will not, and even if your managers and supervisors are not. Very important because it is always considered as the best policy. The success of the organization depends on the honesty of their employees. So you are supposed to display honesty. Now, there is this different level of honesty. Na iwan nga simple dishonest, be honest in all. Na iwan naking dishonest pero very simple, minimal lang ko, no? But that is wrong. Whether gamay lang ang dishonesty ato na commit, that is still wrong. So we have to be honest in all our dealings, in all our transactions, in all what we do for the organization. Because we have to demonstrate trustworthiness, trust and confidence man ang employee. If the company no longer has trust on you, then it's easy for you to be to be out from that organization. It's easy, no? Especially if you are still in the contractual stage. Now, part of the important character that an employee must possess is that you must display loyalty. Loyalty goes with commitment. Dependability means to say that you don't need to be guided at all times. You need to have efforts to exert. You need to exert some important efforts, no? Para dependable ka. As much as possible, dapat less supervision. That is what managers would like to have with you, and that is what the companies are expecting. Less supervision. Because these are busy people. No time to teach, no time to instruct. So, as much as possible, you show that you are capable of, that you are dependable, that you are reliable. And how do you know that the company likes you? And how would this company and managers know that you are dependable and reliable? And there is no need for you to be instructed. You have to come up with initiative. And most importantly, self-discipline. Do not wait for the company to decide for your dismissal or suspension. In order to prevent these things to happen, you must impose self-discipline. In many organizations, in many companies, we do have heard people being retrenched. We do heard people or employees being suspended. We heard employees being dismissed from the service. Why? Because they have committed infractions. Why? Because they have committed mistakes. Why? Because they have violated the rules and regulation and policy of the organization. Do you follow me? Do you follow me?
Sir.
Yes, because they are not disciplining yourself. They are not disciplining themselves. So most important is that let's not wait for others to discipline us. Let us impose self-discipline to prevent the commission of all those infractions, violations, and policies of the organization. Di ta dapat pubuhatan na ang dili ta mga uwaw dito sa kumpanya nga kung asa mo isud. For the meantime that you will only be considered as OJT, you do also have to impose self-discipline there. Huh? Basin og ma-early ang imong paggawas niya ng imong OJT-han, na di ka katiwas hinuha sa imong program, di ka graduate. So character. Loyalty, we have discussed this matter. Very important that you have to understand what is right and what is wrong. I am not saying that you commit a wrong so that you will know what is right. You know already what is right. You know already what is wrong. As simple as that. Mangkuha kag bond paper, ballpen, dadun sa inyo, that is wrong. You cannot defend it. It's non-negotiable. You know what is right and you know what is wrong. So very important that you will have to consider that in mind. Honesty, like I said, no? Very important. You have no right to take properties of the company. You have no right to deny. You have no right to be dishonest because you are hired, because the company expects you to be honest at all times. Okay. So, wrong is wrong. Don't forget about it. Wrong is wrong. Even if everyone is doing it. Do not make it as a reason that I'm doing this because other employees are doing also. Nanguha dito pang paper, nanguha dito kuan, usahay may duty 8 hours, pero ang gidutihan niya 3 hours ra, kaya mo nag-mistakes lang, naglakaw-lakaw lang. You cannot make these acts of others as correct because it is wrong at the first place. So do not make it as a reason that you will commit this act because others are committing also. Wrong is wrong even if everyone is doing it. What you have to do is do something right because it will always be right. Even if no one is doing it, that will always considered as right. Do you follow me? Even if no one is doing it, even if you have not seen an organization that they are doing the right thing, do it because that is right. Do it because that is right. Do not be depending on the acts of others because you do not know they are doing the same, which is considered as wrong. So what is right is right. What is wrong is wrong. Okay. Trustworthiness, we have discussed this matter already. Initiative, no? As much as possible, you have to exert effort to know the functions, that there should be less supervision on your part. And when the company do recognize your initiative, they will recognize you, they will give you incentives, they will acknowledge your work, and nobody knows you will be absorbed. If you're already an employee, you will be promoted. And because of such recognition and acknowledgement, you will be motivated. If you are motivated, you will be productive member of the organization. You will be doing good outputs. People with initiative, no? See a job that needs to be done and do it beyond the call of duty. Very important. Dili ka mag-apas ka sa oras, kalasin ko na, muhawa lang ka. If there's a need to complete, if there's a need to finish your job, even if it is already beyond the regular hours of work, do it because that is the call of duty. People like that has the so-called initiative to see a job that needs to be done and do it beyond the call of duty. Self-responsibility, self-discipline. Accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is who will get you where you want to go, no one else. Very important. Teamwork. Very important teamwork. Take note, the success of the organization depends on the participation of all the members of the organization. The success of the company depends on how the employees support the management. It is a reciprocal obligation. It is a reciprocal obligation. It's a two-way function. It cannot be left alone by the management or it can be left alone for the employees. Like I said, it's a reciprocal obligation grounded on the fact that there is such a thing as symbiotic relationship. May relationship ang employee and management. That is why we have some contracts that is entered into that if you perform this job, if you help the company, you will be receiving these bonuses, extra incentives, and due recognition, and that would be a ground later on, maybe reasons for your promotion. Teamwork makes the dream work. In teamwork, there's cooperation. In teamwork, we do not only depend on the leader because you do also have to consider the fact that employees may have this knowledge and that knowledge is vital to the success of the company goal or objective. See it as an opportunity. And if you see it as an opportunity, continue doing the same. Like I said, teamwork makes the dream work. Klaro pa ko?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Klaro kayo. Klaro ang ako aktang, dili, kay magpalayo ko sa kamera.
Hayag na, sir.
Klaro po, sir. Klaro po, sir.
Ay. Alright. Sunod. Appearance. Present. You need clean appearance. Practical personal hygiene. Wear clothing of the job. Use appropriate verbal and written etiquette. Dapat unsa ba yung mga kurso ninyo karon? Unsa ba yung kurso ninyo?
Peace, Industrial Technology.
Industrial technology.
Automotive, sir.
Whatsoever. Siguro you have different place, no?
Major.
Places. Oh. Siguro ang uban naman sa opisina, ang uban to sa planta, whatsoever. So, tingali, with regards to appearance, alright, it can be negotiated. Ang amang magbarong ka dito ng samtang nag-ayo ka upuan, makina, no? It's negotiable. Pero, please practice personal hygiene. But break ka, walking colleague, whatsoever, ayaw na. Because you might be contributory to sickness. And you will be susceptible of diseases. And you might transmit such diseases to your co-workers who are trying their best not to be sick. So, a very important ang appearance. Number 5, very important thing. Remember, attitude. No? It's not attitude. It's attitude. Unsa to siya? Unsa to siya?
Attitude.
Altitude.
Attitude.
Attitude. It's attitude. Okay. Now remember, attitude is a magnet. What you think is what you attract. Remember this. First impression last sa bata. Right? At the very beginning, when you enter this organization, if they see something in you differently, that might continue until mawa ka di as kumpanya. Because ang makita na sa mga tao na siya, first impression last na siya. In other words, at the very onset, at the very beginning, when you enter into this particular managed company, demonstrate positive attitude. Ayaw paghambog, ayaw pag-atik, no? Because no one is an island. No one owns everything. No one owns the knowledge. No one owns intelligence. We do not live and we cannot live alone in an island. Remember that. So we have to demonstrate positive attitude. We accept wrong doing, we accept mga feedbacks and suggestions. Ayaw pag mga sayop sila. No, demonstrate positive attitude. Right? And of course, you have to appear self-confident. Because if people will be looking at you with confidence, they will lose trust and confidence in you. And part of a good attitude is the willingness to cooperate in the group, the willingness to cooperate, the willingness to participate, and the willingness to accept criticisms. No? Dawat taniana, because we are not a person who is called perfect, and no one is considered perfect. That's a reality. So very important ang attitude. Ayaw sukol sa imong boss, ayaw pakig-away, ayaw pag-iyat-iyat. Ha? Bis pag wapo ka ba, yung magpayat-iyat ka, mahambog ka sa mong dagway, pagkamatay na to, parihar ng dagway. We all return to dust. Remember that. So demonstrate positive attitude. Remember, gratitude is the best attitude. Appear self-confident, very important, is a prerequisite to success. Then, productivity. What's the purpose ng OJT mo? To acquire technical skills, to acquire technical trainings that cannot be supported by PIT. Unsay gaps nga wa nahatag dito sa knowledge of skills nga wala mahatag o di mahatag sa PIT na i-supplement na sa gitawag nato nga mga HTE or host training establishments. Sila ang maghatag ninyo sa gitawag nato mga technical trainings. Right? When you do acquire these technical trainings, later on, you will be productive because you will be knowledgeable already. But when you are there already, please accept criticism. When you are there, please listen to the masters. Please listen to the supervisors. Do what is asked of you so that you will be productive. Right? If you will be required to perform this task and give this result at 8 or 9 p.m., 9 a.m., then submit it 9 a.m. Do not submit it 2 days, 3 days after because you are no longer considered as productive. Remember, our performances are always monitored by the management. Remember that. Our performances are always monitored by the management. Even if you are still an OJT, for example, you monitor your performance. So much so that if they think that you are not productive, you are not helping the company, you are against the company policies, they will be calling Sir Wendell, Sir Wendell, kuhaan na ni palihog ang badlongon ni mga estudyante, di ni magsilbi sa among opisina. Right? So, mas shorten ang imong pag-OJT. Pangitaan ka lang po din na namog line, ask ka na mo isaksak diya. But, kung unsay imong gibit-bit dito nga batasan, madara ba yun na nimo? Madala nimo sa sunod nimong kumpanyang imong sudlan. O kung imo ng pagbuhaton permanente, wa ka lang gyud kasudlan. Remember that. Organization skills, very important. We cannot accept that we know everything. We learn through experiences. We acquired skills through training. Right? And we acquire organizational skills because we support the organization. Time management technique is one of the important aspects in organizational skills. You will be bombarded with tasks. You will be bombarded with these functions and works whatsoever. And you might be stressed with all these functions and works na gihatag nimo. But you are required to perform the same. How do you do that? Time management. Many are scared to ask for help. But don't worry. You ask for help. Dili man na makaiban sa imong pagkabride, dili makaiban sa imong pagkangingig, trabahante, kung mga ikatabang, malipay pahinulan sila because you're being honest to yourself that you cannot perform this task, that you cannot comply this task. And asking help from your employee, from your co-employees, asking help from your co-workers, gives the impression that you are a team worker. Dili kay maiya-iya ka. Do you follow?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So communication. Communication works for those who work at ease. Ayaw pag inamang. Ayaw pag inusara. If you think that you do not understand the given task, you communicate, sir. I'm sorry, I would like to be clarified about these things. How am I going to perform this task? What are these requirements? Please ask. Dili na makaiban sa imong pagkabayad, dili na makaiban sa imong pagkatao by asking, by communicating to them. Right? So be frank sometimes. It's very important. And in communication, there should be no barrier. Meaning to say, you need to listen to them. If you do not listen to them, you may not be able to perform the task expected of you. But if you are a listener, attentive one, to what is being communicated to you, then probably, yes, you will be able to perform the task that is expected of you. So communicate. Communicate. Then cooperation, like I said, you have to convey willingness to assist others. Ayaw pag-ingon nga, imo man na trabaho, di lang ko ana, umihan nyo di mo, tabangi ko bi, anime, yung kapoy na kayo din. Why not? People would love you if you are willing to assist people, willing to assist your co-workers. Cooperation. You cannot expect that there will be no conflicts in the organization. There will always be conflict in the organization because lain-lain tag kinaiya ang tao. Lain-lain o iba-iba ang kinaiya sa tao. But if you just consider yourself as cooperative, I think you would be one of the solutions to resolve any conflicts within the parties. And it will benefit everyone. Right? You have to treat people fairly, squarely, and equitably. Tell those people, be fair, be honest, equitable. What is due to Caesar, give it to Caesar. What is due to you, it will be given to you. Right? Ang akong guiding principle na ako sa akong pagkamaestro karon o sa akong pag-employee sa lain pang organization kung diin ko ilabay sa Ginoo kaniadto, maingon jud ko, Lord, in every person, mo ni ako guiding principle, every person in the exercise of his right, in the performance of his duty, we must act with justice, give everyone his due, observe honesty and good faith. Kung hubaron ako sa pagkabisiya, pag-istorya, mingon ko, ang tanang tao na mga katungod, apan sa pagbuhat nato sa atong katungod, atong buhaton, nga di takatamak sa katungod sa lain tao. Pagbuhat nato sa atong obligasyon, buhaton nato nga di takatamak sa obligasyon sa ubang tao. Kung naay para iya, ihatag para iya. Kung naay para imo, imo na siya. Sa pagbuhat nato sa atong mga katungod, obligasyon, hinumdumi natong hustisya. Fair. Dapat fair ta. O be truthful, be honest ta sa tanan atong pagabuhaton. That is my guiding principle. I hope that you will have yours also. Guiding principles that will help you boost more your morale, that will help you become productive employee, that will help you develop good employee character and positive attitude. And lastly, respect should be the first thing you give. Kinsa may dapat kinaunahan nimong respetuan? Kinsa?
Person.
Kinsa man?
Ang pinaka-boss nga tango sa kumpanya, sir.
Ang pinaka-boss? Kinsa man ang pinakauna dapat nga itong respetuan? Kinsa? Tuba?
Kagalingon, sir. Kagalingon.
Kuningon, sir.
Because we cannot respect ourselves. If you do not respect yourself, then you will not be able to respect others. Ang respeto sa kagalingon? Pag-respeto na ba yun sa uban? Kung respeto sa uban, galingon, then tao ka? Tao ka? Respeto sa uban, so di kayo galingon. So you do have to respect yourself so that you can respect others. Right? Respeto yung galingon. That's very important. Respect should be the first thing you give. Okay? So that is just those are 10 important things about work ethics. Ako lang gidali kay alas 11:20 naman po niya. Lami pa man ang sumusunod na itong discussion doon. But I hope sa katong napo kabog ginganlan ako ninyo, namoy nantiguhan, and you will bring those things when you are already deployed by Servindel to your respective host training establishment. You will be deployed to a different organization, different companies. I hope that you are bringing those important things about work ethics. Can you? Can you bring with you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, yes.
I beg you to bring with you this important work ethics. Napulo naman to. Pero sa katong napulo na, bilain. Pero mo itong pinaka-importante yun sa tanan, para nako. Although some people will say there are other important things that will tell you na naka-work ethics. Pero that 10 alone is enough to become a good employee. Sir, I would like to say nga, mo na itong akong about sa work ethics. Can I now proceed to another topic?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that very informative. Thank you for that very informative nga discussion. Ako lang po sir, i-add sa ilaha, no? Since we will not be able to send them to establishment sa ato nga HGE. Ang ako lang ihangyo sa ila, not totally or not for the sake that we will just have to apply that mga word of wisdom and very motivating mga words ni Sir Leo. Kung dili ato po nato i-apply po inig panarbaho kay basin og inyo lang nang i-apply kung mag-OJT mo, di ba? Kay mingon man nga OJT ra man to gingon ni Sir So dili na to i-limit ang atong una-una. Then pwede po na to i-share sa katong wala po'y idea about ni anang unsay kanindot nga makahibaw kag unsa ng work ethics. Sir, thank you for that. Then go ahead for the next topic, which is the RA 11313. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Kung ikuan makita na niya.
Makita, sir. Okay, sir. How about you guys?
Yes, makita, sir.
Okay.
Kita sir, makita sir.
Kita ra, sir.
Di ba kita?
Ha?
Palubat na gid sir.
Sa imo ng internet.
Sige lang.
So by the way now, as I promised, I have a copy for this, and then I will download this to upload this to my YouTube account. Okay?
Okay. Makita na ni sa duha ka account, makita na.
Yes sir.
Okay. Supposedly, I have to discuss first sexual harassment. Supposedly, sexual harassment lang. But I told Sir Wendell, there is already a law that try to expand not necessarily amend or change the Sexual Harassment Act, but also tries to enhance, no? Parang ilang pa, dako ang coverage niya. Because there are acts that constitute sexual harassment, and there are also acts that do not constitute sexual harassment because of the absence of a law. So, gisupply yan the Republic Act 11313. So, dili na lang kung sugod sa Republic Act 11313 or the Safe Spaces Act or bawal bastos. Ako na lang sa magkikita ang kanang gitawag nga natong mga sexual harassment. Okay, so this is it. You know already your Tatay Digong, di ba? Kailan mo ng Tatay Digong? Kailan mo?
Yes.
Kaya una tatay ninyo. Ang uban, inang po silang dili, oy, kanito, yung tatay na nila. Proud kayo, pero karong uban, yung dili, oy, kanito naman to. Bahala na mo. Now, President Duterte signs the Bawal Bastos Law. Now, the Bawal Bastos Law is actually the nomenclature or the title of the bill about Safe Spaces Act. So, wala pa ni nahimo nga balaod, ginganlan ni sa bill as Bawal Bastos Law. When it was signed by the President and became a law, it is now called Republic Act 11313 or Safe Spaces Act. Klaro? Klaro ba na? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, pero ato na lang ko ano, nga bawal bastos para mas
Sabotable.
mas sabotable. Okay, nindot beginning bastos, nindot sa nabawal. So, nga. Okay.
Ako man ang pukulang.
Dire na lang. Anti-Bastos Law or called Safe Spaces Act versus Sexual Harassment. Okay. Unsa may rationale, iyay? Unsa may rationale ni aning Republic Act 11313? Mo ni siya. Ang atong Kongreso, consisting of the lower house and the upper house, or the Congress, or the House of Representatives and the House Senate, they are called as Congress, no, or legislator. They have enacted a law to address existing gaps, particularly on the issues of equality, security, and safety of both women and men in private and public spaces. No? Because under the so-called Sexual Harassment Act, the Sexual Harassment Act or Republic Act 7877, limitado ang acts that will constitute as sexual harassment. And for 2 decades or 20 years of existence ng Anti-Sexual Harassment Act, it remains to be a threat against the cultivation of conducive learning and working environment. Nga naman, because of the limited scope incidents of sexual harassment and outside the ambit of Republic Act 7877. But na kung pasabot na ay mga lihok sa usa ka tawo nga dili na mo constitute as sexual harassment kay dili sakop sa balaod. So, people are some people, no, libre na sila, they will not be held liable. For example, what are the examples of sexual harassment not covered by Republic Act 1777? Money. Sexual harassment in streets and public places. Wala man lang sa sexual harassment. Kung manghikap ka tutoy, ha? Sa imong isig ka empleyado, unsa man itawag na? Sexual harassment? Dili. Unless ikaw nga nanghikap, aduna kay gitawag nga moral ascendancy and influence. Si driver, nanghikap og tutoy, dili na to mag-called na sexual harassment siguro. Ano man, wa manggod siya gitawag nato nga kanang authority, influence, and moral ascendancy. Ha? Wa man siya authority, influence, o moral ascendancy. Wala. Kay kasagara ang naay authority, mga boss man. Kasagaran na influence ang boss man. Kasagaran nga naay moral ascendancy ang atomang boss. So si boss ang makakommit og sexual harassment, dili ang ordinaryong empleyado. Mo nang ako nakitaan. Now, what if ang ordinaryong empleyado mo ay mubuhat ana against sa iyang usa ka empleyado? Will it constitute Republic Act 77? Will it constitute sexual harassment? No. Because klaro man diha dapat na kay moral ascendancy, na kay influence, na kay authority. Mao na siya ang gap. Mao na siya ang kulang sa balaod. Because kanay kulang mo na gi-supplement sa Republic Act 11313. Usa na. No? Usa na siya. Kaya sa Republic Act 11313, bisan ka pa og ordinaryong employee, manghikap-hikap ka diya, that constitute as gender-based sexual harassment. Automatic na. No need for establishing authority. No need for establishing influence. No need for establishing moral ascendancy. No need for that. Nakikita mo sa diferensya? Ha?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Kaniadto kung manager, supervisor mo na moral ascendancy na authority, sila rin makakommit og sexual harassment. So, kung puro mo driver nga na clerk, na kagmay mo, wa man may moral ascendancy, it will not constitute sexual harassment kung gibuhat ani mo dito sa workplace. No, it will not constitute as sexual harassment even if committed dito sa workplace because wa kay moral ascendancy. Because of that, naghimog Republic Act 11313. Gingon sa 11313, pwede ka na malayable bisan pag wa kay moral ascendancy. Kay gitangtang na nga distinction. Do you follow me? Gitangtang na nga distinction. Gender-based naman siya. And anyone, no, can be an offender. Anyone, bisan kinsa, can be an offender. No? Yeah, what is exciting because under Republic Act 7877, limited ra ang lugar kung saan ka makakommit o sexual harassment. You do commit sexual harassment in the workplace. You do commit sexual harassment in the educational institution or training centers. Maura na siya. Maura na siya. If you commit acts na may sexual harassment, pero dito sa public places, no, it will not constitute as sexual harassment. Because very clear man, limited to the context of work, education, and or training lang siya. And most importantly, again, it requires authority, influence, and moral ascendancy. But this time, this sexual harassment thing is expanded by Republic Act 11313. But it did not kanang wagtang ang RA 7877. They coexist. So pwede ka kiyaan sa 2 counts. Violation of RA 7877 and violations of RA 11313. Very clear. 2 counts because they coexist. Wala gitangtang ang RA 7877 tungod kanang RA 11313. They coexist. Nabuhi silang duha. So kung kita makakommit og sayop, masakop sa 7877, masakop pud sa RA 11313, duha ka kaso atong bangon. Violation of RA 7877, violation of RA 11313. Because under RA 11313, it already covers streets, public places, internet, or cyberspace. Naanay cyber gender-based sexual harassment, yeah, cyber space, no, sa internet, no, pwede na ka malayable niya na sa internet imongan na dito nga ikaw bayad ka, ikaw tumboy ka, dauto nimo dito, that's covered already under Republic Act 11313. Pero sa Republic Act 1777, no, it is not covered. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Kamu
Yes,
kayo.
sir.
Klaro kayo.
Sir.
Okay. So, unsa may naa sa RA 11313? Unsa may unod? Unsa may sitwasyon na nahimo man siyang krimen ang gender-based sexual harassment? Alright. Upat din siya. Nakita din niyo ako slides?
Yes, sir.
Kita.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Upat na siya. Una, we have gender-based streets and public spaces sexual harassment. Usa na ka krimen. Kaduha, gender-based online sexual harassment. Ikatulo, gender-based sexual harassment in the workplace nga naa na dito sa RA 7877 pod. Then, ang ikaupat, gender-based sexual harassment in the educational and training institutions. So kaning ikatulog, ikaupat, ang sexual harassment in the workplace and gender-based sexual harassment in education napo na dito sa RA 7877. So, ang nadugang di ay mao ni gender-based streets and public spaces sexual harassment o kanang online sexual harassment. So, you should be very careful gyud sa online sexual harassment. No? Imong gi-post, for example, nga si Sir, bayot di ay, mangitag laki, ana, hihihi, joke only. Uy, online sexual harassment na. Gender-based online sexual harassment na. I will tell you later on. Let's continue. So, morning upat nga mga acts that will be constituted as violations sa anti-bastos law. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, atong sugdan ang primero, gender-based streets and public spaces sexual harassment. Na ako na gender-based streets and public spaces.
sir.
Oh, unsa man na? Unsa may but pasabot sa public places within the purview of the law? Unsa may but pasabot ana? Terminal, sinihan, diskohan, mga malls, mga hotel, mga casino, mga bars, mga spa, eskwelahan, unsa pa na diha? Restaurant, merkado, kani mga public places na siya. Nga buot pasabot kung dito nimo na nabuhat ang gender-based sexual harassment, liable gyapon ka. Sa diskuhan, nakikapikap ka dito. Imong gidaot ang sa kabayot dito sa kuan. Ana, dito ka swimming pool na ay nag-swimsuit nga bayot, for example, imong gibugal-bugalan, imong ginaan, mas dako ka pa mag-itlog nako. Ana imong bayot, for example, no? Forgive me for my words, but it's a joke, but it's true, no? No? Imo ba siyang para mas tamason, no? Ang tawag na kay dito man sa hotel, dito man sa resort, public place siya. But it constitutes as gender-based sexual harassment in public places. Karon, iyon man ang malaod, ato nang expand. Apil na di ang privately owned area, spaces, or buildings open to the public. For example, kanang mall, private man ang mall, di ba? Restaurant, private man na, di ba? But if it is open to the public, masud na siya sa definition of public place. Nga kung makabuhat mo sexual harassment act, gender-based sexual harassment act, diha, that already is a crime under the law. Get the point? Klaro?
Yes, sir.
Klaro, sir. Yes, sir. Klaro,
Unsa
sir.
man, unsa man ang mga acts nga gitawag to gender-based street and public places sexual harassment. Taghuyan nimo, tiksan-tiksan ni imong mga unwanted invitation nga hali diri sir. Ato ta sa CR na ano nimo ba? Diba? Imong ikuan, imong yung binastusan gyud nimo ba? Oh. Yeah, persistent uninvited comments, gestures on the person's appearance. Nasus kanang imong dagway oy, murag tupaing man kay na, sus kanang imong dagway oy, kanang ko ano nun man kay na. Something like that. Uninvited comments. Ngayon, dyan daw, obvious, hindi mo makakomment, oy, yung mo daw ito ng akong pagkatao, ang akong pagkalalaki, akong pagkababae. So, gender-based, no? Kasi gender-based, regardless man, babae o lalaki. Oh, kana. Or, magsigig pinangayo ka, o sa cellphone number ni mo, bisag ibalibaran na, utlosod, tagadiinday ka. Oh, gender-based, gapo na. Na yung mga babae manlabay niya, kamo, mag-standby din sa gawbas. Oh, yung may ingon dito ang babae, ang mga lalaki nga, dahil pwede may number ni mo, dahil, anak, kinsa man mo, basta mo, unahan lang yan, niya, balibad, niya pagkahuman, gugukod di mo, kay fugson din yung patag, for example. Stalking, ha? Is already constitutive as under, violation under bawal bastos. Sunod ka, na, yeah. Bisa kayo mag-repost ka, mag-post ka about sa picture sa babae, picture mo lalaki, na walay permit, gender-based, yapon na siya. But this time, it's gender-based sexual harassment online. Pag-masturbate ka sa public, magpakita ka sa mong itlog, ha? Pakita ka sa mong tutoy, diha. Oh, sa may tawag naman na, gender-based in streets and public places, basta sa public place, buhat. Now, mga kana. Kana mga ginakalang magpatutoy sa anak nga manggawa sa lang nilang akngal diha makita ang kadaghanan, gender-based sexual harassment ba na? Yes or no? Kana may public masturbation and flashing of private parts, does it constitute sexual gender-based sexual harassment? Yes or no? The answer is no.
Yes, sir.
No. Why? Kaya natural gina nga manggawas ng tutoy sa ginikanan kay nagpadidi, normal na siya. Dapat mga rin na kada lugar na sa mga room unta nga himuon nga to dito magpadili sila. There is no intention nga magpakita tutoy. Natural makita lang labi nagpaakon sa anak. O pagpaak sa anak, siyempre buyan sa anak, di makita ganito tutoy sa kadaghanan. It is not within the idea of flashing of private parts. No, dili na siya. Pero tinuyuan nimo to kasi babaw dito. Ha? Magpakita ka sa imo, kuan tinaguan ana, tuyuon nimo na malabay aw. Gender-based street and public place sexual harassment na siya. Kanang magsigig padayon og telling of sexual jokes. Joke lang, joke, pero dati nood na, nga that is already constitutive as gender-based. So, ayaw mo joke, anong nga, kalami, ba mo, pwede maglakaw ta, something like that. Ay, delikado tayo na. Di sa pag-joke na, labi persistent, imog yung balik-balik yung storya nga. Nagwapa, pag-augma, utron sa di mo. Paghapon, imo na pag-ginaan nga. Sige na, lagi, ito lagi ta. Na, may ka, joke, tanan, oy, joke, balik-balik. So, bisag joke, tibwa niyo na malawd, bisag joke pa na. Basta persistent telling of sexual jokes, liable ka na. So, palihog, ang inyong mga baba, pugi-pugi na lang. Kaya grabe na kaayo ng balaura. Kanang hilig kong mga mag-joke-joke, among sexual jokes, kamu lang. If you do not believe in this law, if you do not believe in my discussion, kaya wak mo makasuway, buhata. Ano makasuway mo? Aro mga preso mo. Buhatan ninyo. Di ba maningog? Gibuhat ninyo, no? Bato-bato sa langit, tama-tamaan,
Yes, sir.
huwag kayong magalit. Ha?
Ayaw sir. Wow, sir.
Sir.
So, hinamdumi, ha? Hinamdumi, ha? Kung inyo nang gibuhat in public, kita mo na ng usa ka tao, even security guard, pwede kadakop nimo. Even an ordinary person na naka-witness sa imong gibuhat, no? In the presence of this private person, he can arrest you if you committed an act that constitute as gender-based sexual harassment. Di ka na pwede mingon, murag magpulis kung kadakop, meron, di liway. Ang tawag na to na citizen arrest. Kung panalitan, si CRDI, Wendell, maka-witness sa inyong gibuhat o sa kababae, anak, si sir, pwede kadakop ninyo, citizen arrest, di na kilala ng mga muskwila, mahimo pa sa pulis. No! Dili. Security personnel or person who witnessed the crime can arrest. So, ato mas PIT, for example, bugal mo rito, kanya na ang security guard, baka batiin ninyo, na yung babae classmate niyo binuangan, kamo lang. Di na mo kinanglan pa, ang guard naman na to, naapo, mura sa nagpulis, nga naipusil, naasay kuan. Ako'y, tawag ng ipusas. So at the end of the day, this is not to discriminate the male. This is not to discriminate other people, but this is to protect everyone, not only women, but also men. Because this crime can now be committed by a man against women, women against men, or women to women, men to men. Klaro? Dili na ni siya may nga,
Yes, sir.
pero may makakumit na dili uy. Kung ang babae mo ay makakumit ani nga krimen, gender-based harassment against a man, pwede. Women to women, women to man, man to man, man to women. Oh. Bayot to bayot, tumboy to tumboy, bayot to tumboy, tumboy to bayot. Ako nagiklaro na. Means to say, any person can commit this crime already. Any person. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Ang
sir.
penalty niyo sa gender-based sexual harassment in streets of public
Sir.
places, na second offense, pagka-preso, kamo lang, arresto minor, di ko dugay kaayo, pero guilty na mo na, di ko dugay, pero papreso gid mo. Now, marita sa gender-based online sexual harassment. Online, ang pinaka-paborito ninyong platform, online, di ba? Ano ang pinaka-paborito ninyong platform na mag-express mo sa inyong kakulingon, mag-express mo sa inyong feelings, mag-express mo sa inyong opinion, whatsoever, online, available, Facebook, Instagram, social media, sa pananguban ng mga platforms. Be careful. Because there is already gender-based online sexual harassment. Klaro? Kung mogamit ka og informasyon, mga communication technology, in terrorizing, intimidating victims, psychological, physical, emotional threat, agay. Bisan pag pinaagi ra nimo diya online, you will still be liable. Kunya, imong i-search ug maayo ang iyang profile ni ana sa Facebook, imong utingkayon, imong iyang mga picture, imong panguwaon, agay. That's a violation already. Invasion of the victim's privacy. Nag-style sa uban nga, labi na kayo sa profile guwapa, wala, uting kayo, sundon, mga pictures tanan, niya ipag-screenshot, niya ipang-post-post, ana, niya i-admire, niya human, kontakon gyud niya, hi, hello, ako ni mo, ani mana, can we be friends sa una kunungay, gentleman's primero, animals katapusan, ano ba? Niya, done online. So that's invasion of the crime. You could be liable. Cyber stalking, tawag na. Nya, wala texting, wala chatting, ikaw yung una niya, dili undangan nimo, ano ba, incessant messaging. Bisag wa ka texting, bisag wa may reply, hala, magsige niya, mag-text na ino nga, ganahan lang ko nimo, wag ito baga, ala, anto, isamok ka na lang gino nga, wa ko ganahin nimo. Oh. You can be liable ni anak gyapon. Online gyapon na, gender-based sexual harassment. Mag-upload ka, mag-share ka, mawalay consent sa biktima. In the form of the media, na naay yung mga photo, na mga voice, na video, or sexual content, ala, kamo, tuo lang nako. Ipang-record ninyo, i-share ninyo ang mga pictures sa mga biktima sa sexual harassment, yung way consent nila, agay, ayaw mo, ako, wala dyan, wala. Kay, kanina bang, bago pa na kamaon, ganahan kita, mag-share. Please be careful sa sharing already. O ka na magkuhan ka, filing false abuse reports to the platforms nga, oy, si Kuan ba, na-rape, panday si Kuan, no? Patay. Kasi tinuod, yung ka, joke lang. Di ba, nakabantay mo sa Facebook karon? Naidaghan ana? Naidaghan ana nga mga instances. Nga, mag-joke sila nga, mubasa ka, ulo, yaw, ano, si Kuan, no? Na-rape day si Kuan day, no? Gitabangan day si Kuan niya. Sa katapusan, dito ingon nga, joke only, patay. Igutan ni ana. Ayaw mo na. Online, gender-based. Now remember, what is the penalty for online gender-based sexual harassment? Dako kayo ang penalty. 100 to 500,000. Dako, kumpara sa sexual harassment. Nga nung gita ko kanina, kay kanitong online platform, hihimo na mga abuse na mga pag maayo. Kung yung daghan lang nag-participate, siguro the reason nga nagpadaghan ng penalty ani, o adlaw sa pagkapreso para ma-minimize na ang paggamit niya ng online platform sa mga binuang. Got the point? So, ang katulo, gender-based sexual harassment in the workplace. So, kanang siya. Naapod ni sa Republic Act 7877 sa sexual harassment. So, example, ikaw si manager, imong iningon na aning para sa picture na diha, ang imong mga sekretary, o liable ka ni aning RA 11313, liable pa kadto sa RA 7877 kay they coexist. So, duha ang imong 2 counts of sexual harassment ang imong makommit. Is it clear? Klaro?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Morning yun ako. Who are liable? Peer-to-peer. Subordinate to superior or vice versa. So, what na pili? Pero sa Republic Act 1777, sexual harassment, dapat boss rag yun. Kanang na-influence mo sa residency authority. Pero dinhi sa Republic Act 11313, anyone can be liable. Anyone. Okay? So I think, sir, it's 12 in my clock. I think that would be all this morning. Okay. Nawa ko. Thank you very much, Sir Wendell. Thank you, everyone. Nawa ko sa usa ka account na pislit na ko.
sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. And I will give back the...
Thank you, sir.
I will give back to our MC now.
Yes, sir. Next one. Thank you, sir.
Go ahead, MC.
Continue yung alauna para sir. 1:30.
MC.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for the very educational and informative discussions. So let us remember that wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Right is right, even if no one is doing it. So we have to remember this. And thank you, sir, for thank you, Sir Randall, for the opportunity for this for giving me this opportunity for being your MC. At least na refresh po ko sa gipang discuss Mr. Puno about this sexual harassment and work ethics.
Awarding of certificate.
So thank you, sir, for this
Awarding of certificate.
for this informative discussions. At least para refresh po ko gamay. Okay.
Live na.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
Ayaw, malibig. Bagog nga.
Awarding of certificate.
Okay, let's proceed to the awarding of certificate.
To the speaker.
Asa sa mga citation?
Wait. Tanawa ko na present. Yung present. Present.
Asa na ang certificate? Pagdaran. Makita na. Okay. Thank you very much, sir, to go on as a token of our appreciation. Let me review the citation of this certificate. Republic of the Philippines, Palampon Institute of Technology, Palampon Leyte, College of Technology and Engineering. Certificate of recognition is awarded to Mr. Leo Roswald M. Tugunon for sharing their knowledge and expertise.
His knowledge, rather.
uh,
His knowledge.
his knowledge, I mean, his knowledge, sorry, his knowledge and expertise as a resource speaker in the pre-departure orientation webinar entitled Work Ethics, Values, Sexual Harassment, and Safe Space Act for the fourth year Bachelor of Science in Industrial Technology students. Given this 11th day of February 2022 at the Palombo Institute of Technology, Palombo Lady, Philippines, signed by our Dean Coti, Romel L. Asoki, VP Academic Affairs, Virginia S. Beltran, and President Roberto C. Olavides. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for coming. Sir, thank you for your wonderful speech. Salamat gyud kaayo na nakagay na pod mi og lain na pod nga additional nga makapadugang sa gutlo sa amo kinabuhi, no? Nga
Alam, alam
amo na
naman.
siya ma-apply throughout sa amo ang pagpanikay-sikay o pagbaktas-baktas nining madanlog ug matunok nga kalibutan. Labi na karon sa panahon